Alright guys, this is just a quick well, I'm going to try to make it quick, but I saw that there was some talk in the Discord about making visualizers, and as I've said before, I'm just kind of a hack with this, so I'm just going to run you guys through how I do it. If it helps, it helps. If it doesn't, cool. My method is most likely trash compared to the way a lot of you guys do it, but I figured I'd throw it out there just in case. So first of all, we have our open desktop. I'm going to open up Capcut, and everything I do edit-wise is in Capcut, and I'm going to try to do this impromptu on Capcut here if Capcut decides it wants to open. All right, so obviously once you get into Capcut, we'll just go to create new project. First of all, I'm going to import my asset. First of all, I want this music. So, and obviously you can do this. You can do this with my videos where they're one hour long of my style. Anyways, I'm just going to take the music, drop it down into my timeline here. Obviously, I could put in my graphics if I want to put in. In fact, here, let's throw in Scully here. Let's say I want Scully. In fact, I'm actually going to show you a couple different things there. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible, but it may not work out that way. But anyways, I'll go as quick as I can. I'm sure there's going to be gaps in what I explain, so feel free to ask questions. I'm super busy. I've been super busy, so I haven't been able to keep tabs on everything, but I will get to it as quick as I can. I just got a lot of stuff going on. So first of all, I'm going to animate this here in Capcut. I'm just going to go ahead and click on the picture. It's just a standard picture. I'm going to go down on the right-hand side, and I'm going to go to AI dialogue scene, and it's got to go through this whole jazz of detecting characters. And for you guys who already know how to do this, cool. I'm just putting this together for the guys who might not know this. Dialogue scene, there's a couple different things. I want to choose my character, which is Scully. I don't care about the girls that are hanging around, but I just want reaction. And I'm just going to do 8 seconds of reaction. And by a reaction, it's just movement. And it's kind of like rolling the dice with this. Sometimes, obviously, in a picture like this where you got multiple characters, we could probably get some weird stuff. Hopefully, it stays safe for work. But anyways, what I'm hoping it's going to do is animate the turntables, animate the main character, maybe some lights and some of the pyro in the background, maybe not. And then I'm going to take this 8 seconds of whatever it animates, chop it down if I need to. I may not need to, and then I'm going to export it. Anyways, I'm going to export it so that way it gets rid of the watermark, and then I'm going to re-import it and make 2 copies of it. The second copy, I'm actually going to reverse it. So that way when I copy and paste those 2 videos time after time after time after time, it's just a continually looping video back and forth and back and forth. But one of the things that I do is I will actually drop the speed on the animated video portion down to at least half speed, just so it doesn't look choppy and it actually flows with the music a little bit better. Looks a little bit more natural. There's some other things you can do with Capcut. Optical flow, super resolution. Let's see here. You can even do lip sync. I haven't tried it out too much. It seems to work okay, but I haven't used it enough to have an opinion on it. But Capcut's got a bunch of these different things. A lot of these are behind the paywall, but I'm paying $10 a month for Capcut, which does all of my editing, which does all of this AI animation, all this kind of stuff. It's not the best, but it works for me. So, all right, let's see where we're at. That's only processing at 41%. Awesome. So while it's doing that, we're just going to let it process. So let's build our visualizer. So with our visualizer, what I do, you can import things. If you find something that you can steal off the internet, cool. But I just go down to the library that's in here, and I'm just going to type in visualizer. And I probably fat-fingered you did. Visualizer, you could also put in audio spectrum. You could put in any combination of any word that kind of means something like that. So let's go down and look for something cool here, like this here. But let's see here. Let's see. I think we're just going to go with something quick, just so that way we can keep this video under a short amount of time. Actually, let's go. And remember this. And I'm not you can use this process for literally anything out there. Any of the assets, video assets, whatever. I'm going to go ahead and pop this into here. And as you can see, it's video that it's just a streaming piece of video. What I want to do is I want to, in fact, let me move my microphone over here so I can use my left hand. Hopefully I don't lose you guys. All right. So what I'm going to do is I am going to copy and paste this. Actually, let me put it down here so it snaps. I'm just going to go ahead and take this and loop it over and over until the end of this song that I implanted. Actually, let me make this smaller. I'm going to actually do more at the same time. And that's the whole thing about with doing videos in Capcut, and then probably in anything else, whether it be DaVinci or the Adobe overpaid one, is workflow. Find out what your workflow is and try to maximize it. That's what, I'm kind of, what's the word, anal when it comes to workflow. So once I have all of them here looped out to the length of the song, I am just going to go ahead and right click and combine, make a sub project of just that one clip. So now I can manipulate all those clips at the same time doing the same thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run that back up to there. One thing that I will do with this video, obviously it's covering that picture. It's covering what's to be animated. So what I'm going to do is I am going to go to let's see here. I want to go to blend. It's right here in front of my face. I'm going to go to blend. I could drop the opacity though. In fact, let me put the marker over the video here. So if I drop the opacity, obviously you can see that the image comes behind it. But the bad thing is you lose a lot of the clarity of the picture that you're actually trying to showcase. So what I do is I keep that at 100% and I'll just drop this down and click brighten. And what it does is there's a couple other options in here that you can do. So you could play around with it. Oh, that's kind of cool. I actually like that. But let's just stick with brighten just for the time being. And as soon as this wants to finish here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this picture of Scully. I'm going to try to drop out the background and create two images of the Scully picture here. But one image is going to be the full picture. The other image is going to be the foreground, or the turntables and Scully himself. And I'm going to end up putting that one in front of the visualizer, this thing here. So I may edit this part, all this waiting out, just of respect to your guys' time, but we'll see, because it's only at 60-some%. So anyways, just to give you a look at what we're looking at here. I can't hear any music coming out, but oh well, trust you guys can hear it. All right, come on. I'm going to add in one more thing here. I want a visualizer at the bottom. This is probably, let's check this one out here. Let's do this one too. And with this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop out the blacks, just leaving that visualizer. So there we go. Just like that, using brighten. And what I want to do is I want to have it at the bottom of the screen. So, but I want two copies of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste. Now I have two copies of it. But what I want to do is I want to go ahead and rotate it. So I'm going to go to mirror, just like so. I'm going to drop this down to here, just like that. Now, let's see where we're at on the original. We're at 80%. So again, I'm probably going to edit some of this out here. So we're just waiting on this animation. One thing I'm going to do here really quick is I got to take this visualizer here and I need to make it the same length as the song itself. So I'm going to pop this in there. Same thing here. Same thing there, same thing there. And I'm just gonna have it fade out at that point. So I'll probably just, all right. So what I want to do what I did with the actual visualizer down here is I'm gonna go ahead and combine all of those as well into a subgroup. So create, just right click and create compound clip. Now it's all one video, and I'm actually going to shrink it on down to here. And this is going to be very, very, very rough. Obviously, with a little more planning, a little more playing around, it might take a little bit more time for you. Oh, there we go. All right, so that's what that looks like by itself. But this should be done here anytime here. It's hanging on 96%. That's one thing to add too, is that in Capcut they have a bunch of different, they're not all that good. I mean, there's some good things that you'll find in the stock assets area. There's a bunch of things you can use. Like this one right here creates a hell of a background visualizer, something that makes the screen look like it's pumping. But the one phrase that I always tell myself is less is more. A lot of my earlier videos, I did not live by that. And honestly, I can't go back and watch through any of my old videos because I'm just like, man, that looks like garbage. And just as I'm sure in the future, I'll look back on my current videos and think the same thing. But anyways, but yes, remembering less is more, and applying it to where you can barely get a view of it, but you can see that something's there is kind of what you want to go for. You don't want something that's just going to smack the viewer in the face and look really cool for about 5 seconds, and then after that it's just annoying. So still waiting. Hanging at 96%. Should be done anytime now. This is ridiculous. All right, looks like it just finished. So let's go ahead and hide these two. I want to look at just this and watch how this animation played out. Okay. I could deal with that. All right, so that actually turned out better than I thought it was going to. All right, so what I want to do is, obviously I want this clip here, but I want this clip also here, but I want it reversed, so that way it creates a looping type of feel. All right, so what I'm going to do, as you can tell, once you export this into, once you animate it, it's going to put this stupid little thumbnail up here, or watermark that says AI generate. We want to get rid of that. So the way we get rid of that is simply this. We're just going to just click on the snippet, and we're going to right click, and we're going to go to export selected clips. So once I click select export clips, I don't worry about needing to name it, but I do want to export it in 4K, 60 frames resolution, or 60 frames per second, and with optical flow. So the optical flow, that's going to, actually wait, before we do that, I actually want to drop the speed to 50%. And I'll recap this here really quick. Basically what I did is click the clip, go up to speed on the right hand side, and in here you're going to have standard, curve, and velocity effects. We're going to get to velocity effects because that's how we're going to get our beat syncing going, but just go to standard. We first want to prime this piece of video, drop it to 50%, so that way it looks more like this. Okay, see how it's slower, it's a little bit more emotion, doesn't look so much like a focus vessel. I should overdub some music with this. That'd be freaking hilarious. Anyways, I can't get over this. This is awesome. I'm gonna have to do more. Look at this girl in the background. All right, get it together. Let's get it together. So I've got it half speed. I'm going to right click on it, and I have just this one video clip selected. Go to export video clips. I don't worry about naming it. Make sure it's in 4K. I'm going to choose 60 frames a second, and with optical flow. What that optical flow does, it inserts frames, I'm guessing, to make it appear smooth, to where when you cut it in half, you're also spreading apart the frames that it captures with. It inserts frames to make it more smooth. You'll see what I'm talking about in a second here. So I'm going to click export, and it should just take a couple seconds to export it. because hell, it's just now a 16-second piece of video. All right, so it exported. I'm now going to navigate to it, which is in my finished and 906. Here it is. I'm just going to double click it. I now have that video in there. I am going to drag it down into this spot. In fact, I'm going to drag two of them. Two of the same video, and I'm going to delete the one that we waited for freaking ever on. And I'm just going to run these two here. Now, I have the first one, the original, and I have another copy of the original. With this second one, I want to go up to here and go down to reverse. So highlight the second one, go to here, go to reverse. So I'm going to go through and reverse that video. All right. Now, this main track here, I use it just to make sure everything's together, because it just snaps everything where there's no gap between clips. And I'm just going to copy and paste this to the full length of my video, just like so. All right, now what I want to do is I am going to create that compound clip, just like so. Now it puts it all together. I want to pretty it up. All right. Now I'm going to also put some fade in and fade out on this, just to pretty it up. But I now want to create a copy of this, and I'll show you why. I'm going to paste. Where's my paste? I'll just do Control C, Control V. There we go. All right. So now this one I'm going to be using for my background that we're going to put the effects over. This one, I'm actually going to try to remove the background as much as possible. So Capcut makes this easy. I'm going to click on this one video here. That's kind of crazy. Anyways, and I'm going to go up and go to Remove BG or Remove Background. And I'm just going to click Auto Removal. Why do it myself if AI can do it for me? So we'll give it a shot here. Again, this might be a little bit of a wait, but we'll see. Either way, I'm going to cut this all down in post-production here, so that way you guys don't have to sit through all this. All right, so it looks like it completed on the AI portion of it, but I want to check it. So I'm going to hide the behind. Oh, good. That's actually good. So it took out all the background. The only thing is it took out my turntables. So I want to actually put those back in. This actually turned out pretty decent. Obviously, I got some glyphing in the back and whatever, but it's not a big deal. This is just for example purposes. So anyways, what I want to do on this piece of video is I want to get the turntables back in. So what I can do is go down to Custom Removal. I'm going to check that, see how it shows what is being removed and what's being kept. I first want to get rid of this underarm stuff because that could look kind of... There we go. But it took out too much. It's all in moderation. All right. And I want to also get the turntables back in here. So I'm just going to highlight a bunch of it. And remember, go sparingly. There we go. Perfect. That's good enough for now. Obviously, I'd spend a little bit more time trying to be a little bit more granular with it, but this is good. All right. So now if we... Oh, it's doing it here. What the heck? Oh, it's applying it there. I don't like how it gets rid of a part of Scully's head there, but again, just for example, obviously if you have a picture where it's just one character in the middle of the screen with just a contrasting background, you won't have all these problems. It'll be super quick. You can just go in. Sometimes it does it just right. Sometimes you got to toy around with it a little bit, but it's generally, if you got multiple characters in it, it's hard to try to make sure it all jives. So, but all right, so it looks like it finished up. It's got the turntables in there. Just a quick scrub to just looks like it's gonna do okay, just for the example. But my main concern is Scully and the turntables, just because he's the primary effects. You won't see the effects ruin the background too much here. So, all right, so now I have my front template and my background. What I want to do is I want to put my front template in front of the background visualizer, which is that. So you can see what that does right there, which is kind of cool if you think about it. But anyways, but I want to go ahead and actually let's put in the background here. All right. So as you can see, if I scrub through it, you can see how it pulses through the crowd, which is kind of cool. That girl loses her face there for a second. That's kind of cool. You gotta love artifacts sometimes. You gotta appreciate it. So now we'll throw in this part of the visualizer down at the bottom of the screen. Now here's where, again, if you have a good command of your workflow, just go step by step. The more you create your workflow, the better off you'll be. But one of the things I want to do first is I want to highlight both of my picture portions of the video, both of my videos, and I want to go to, actually, I'm going to go to the first one, and I'm going to go to animation. I just want it to fade in, and we're just going to do a simple 2-second fade in. And I want it to fade out, but I'm going to want it to fade out for, let's say, 7 seconds. I'm going to go down to my other piece of video. I'm going to fade that in for, dang it. I'm going to fade that in for 2 seconds as well, because I want it all to look like. And then I'm going to fade it out for 7 seconds as well. All right. So now I also want to fade in and fade out this first visualizer, the background visualizer. So what I want to do is I'll go to fade in, and I'm going to have this go a little bit longer. I want this to fade in over 10 seconds. And I want it to fade out over 10 seconds. Just a second here. Actually, I'm going to go 15 seconds on it, just because I want it to fade out faster than the rest of the pictures. And then this one here, the very top one, bottom screen visualizer. Fade in over, let's go 5 seconds. And then we'll have it fade out over, we'll go 10 seconds. They just toy around with them. They look you along. Always look at the beginning of the video. It's close together. And I'm not going to put in any logos or anything like that or whatever, but you can create your own logo and actually beat sync it using this same technique. You can use all sorts of pictures. The one that I'm currently using is actually a compilation of probably 10 different pictures that I've pieced together just to create my own visualizer. So it's unique and specific to just my videos. So I also, looks like the audio is going to fade out good enough by itself, but I'm just going to throw on a little bit of a 2.5 second tail. All right, so our last step in this is I want to beat sync both of these to the beat. All right, now before I can do that, I have to actually define, so what is the beat? Well, click on your audio track alone. Then you're going to go up to right here where it says auto mark beats, go down to beats 2, so that way it designates where's all the downbeats. So I have all my beats there. It's all done on the audio line. I'm then going to highlight these 2 visualizers alone. Dang it. Just the 2 visualizers. I'm going to have to do one at a time. So again, I'll take out the weighting in post-production here. So let's start with this one. I'm going to go ahead and highlight the first visualizer, and I'm going to go to speed, and I'm going to go to velocity effects. All right, so from velocity effects, these ones are cool. You can play around with those. I don't like them for my videos just because it they do different things, and I'm not going to go into them, but I just use flash. All right, so what it's going to do is going to go through the processing. It's going to process it, and then it's going to go ahead and sync the flashing and the movement with the beats that we put on our audio track. It shouldn't take so long, but we'll see. So one thing we want to do, we want to look to see if this is actually syncing with the beats. So I'm just going to give it a quick little play. Let's see how that background looks with the beat. All right. She lost her face again. Anyways, so here's one thing that you can do, which has some application. It's not a bad thing, But one thing, that I want this to pop just a little bit more. So, and I wish you could do this before getting it to process and everything. But once it's all done, then go back in and see this intensity slider. Go ahead and kick that all the way up to 100%. The bad thing is it's now going to have to pre-process and redo what you just already did. And there's really no way of getting around that. It's just the way it is. So, but it should be done here relatively quickly because this is just one track rather than 20. All right. Looks like it is finished. So now you'll see that it pulses with a little bit more vibrancy. Now we have to do the same thing for this lower visualizer, that front visualizer. So we're going to do the same thing. Go to speed, velocity effects, and then we are going to choose flash. And again, what it's automatically doing in both these cases is it's finding the audio source that has the AI beat markers. It's also syncing to beats too. And the speed, you can toy with the speed. I generally don't, but that's it. It's trial and error. But I will do the intensity portion of it once it finishes here. All right, so it looks like that bottom visualizer finished. So if we play, now again, I want to go change the intensity. Okay, so we are good to go. All right, so now we have it fading in. We have everything marked. We have everything beat synced. So if we look at it full screen and we play, here's what we get. So that is just a really quick explanation of how I do some of the stuff that I do. Again, it's probably so jacked compared to all the tech that everyone else is using. It's just, I try to find something that I want to see, and then I try to just piecemeal it together. One thing I do want to bring up, I don't know if you noticed, but during the video when this girl in the black disappears, and then the two chicks that come, oh God, it's hilarious. Anyways, there was something else I was going to say, but just you can do a lot of different things with CapCut. It has its limitations, but it comes packed with a bunch of stuff that you can use. I don't want to do something that's going to look like everyone else's, so I tend to go in and piece it out and do what I do. But so. Anyways, I just figured I would show you guys what my process is when trying to put together some sort of visualizer. So, and then I come a little bit further beyond that. Well, that's what I was going to bring up, is the actual video pictures of Scully and the girls. And you can actually beat sync those too. The problem is in some cases it may look good, but in some cases it's very robotic because all of their movement is just very herky-jerky and stuff. So, but anyways, hope this helps. If you guys think of anything else that I can help with, let me know. All right.